Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News, and we've got quite the story. It's already spilled onto the streets. He said. Blake corrects Nick Viall. Blake says Nick flat out lied. LOL. I just don't want this to suddenly be believed as true. So Blake corrects Nick on falsities, and Nick's response to Blake calling Nick a hypocrite because Blake believes Nick has not treated him fairly because he released damning text to vindicate himself. I'm vindicated! Meanwhile, Nick released a text from Katie to vindicate himself. Keyword vindicate. Nick V Blake H. We'll get into it. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals and also patreon.com/Dave Neal. So that's going to be the story right there. Flat out lied. We're going to get to it, all right? Now, just enjoy the wave here. Here's what Blake's story is. It's 4 short slides. He starts off by doing a little bit of that passive-aggressive, oh, life's good, I don't need, which you know, is always a nice burn. And then he flat out goes, but to correct the story, that's not true. And he adds some information to an ongoing feud that's happening right here. So we're going to get into that. I got a text message, and then this was the earlier one I made today, just an hour ago, where Nick said that Blake left a trail of collateral damage, which is a perfect podcast title. So someone left this comment for me, because I think I'm being fair. They said, you should moderate these like presidential debates. Everyone meets at the mansion, and then you moderate and fact check. There will be opening arguments and witnesses, and I have some breaking news for everyone out there. I can actually report, and you kind of blew the lead here because it was supposed to be a surprise, but I can actually report that I will be moderating the debate of Blake versus Nick. You can catch it here on my show. We have an image from that debate here, right here. There it is, folks. Blake v. Nick 2022, moderated by yours truly, the power recapper with the power hairline, and that's a power cowlick. Did you believe it? That photo's 5 years old. I don't look a day over 36 and a half, 37 now. All right, and they look both fantastic themselves, but that, of course, is an actual real photo of the moderation that took place in the Nick versus Blake debate. That's not photoshopped. That's actually their bloated egos in these conversations. God bless both of you. Now, some people go, oh boy, why do you have it out for Nick? Why do you have it out for this? You got a bias here. Address the point, not the person, when having a debate. No ad hominem attacks. We're not making fun of anyone's girlfriends here. We're not talking about stupid things. We are sticking to the facts of the matter as we present our case here. So let's get right in. Oh, but by the way, I did want to promote this. I have a lot of fun and wacky random things going on patreon.com/Dave Neal. One of which is that I was asked to roast one of our lovely audience members named Jen on her wedding night. And I said, horrible idea. I don't want to roast anybody on their wedding night. And then she offered to pay me a few bucks. And I was like, yeah, damn right, I'll roast you. So here's just a 10-second clip of that roast. I just stumbled upon her footage from her watching my roast. I shot it as I shoot my normal content because I couldn't fly up to Canada. You should have paid me. We would have roasted in person. Nothing like bombing at a roast and then you got to eat the chicken cacciatore and you're like, all right, are we ready to cut the cake? So anyway, here's a 5 or 10 second clip of me roasting Jen and her response. The full video is available on the Patreon. It's up there. When Jen asked to be roasted, she told me, she said, hey Dave, nothing is off limits, which is also what she told Derek when they met, which is why he put a ring on it. He got down on a knee because she did. You may have heard Jen and Derek. Right, so there's some audible gasp from some grandmothers out there. Hey, she paid for it. All right, let's get into it. I got the playlist. If you want to catch up on this feud, you can. Let's do the math here. A couple hours worth. We've got breaking Nick V and Katie Thurston beef. Clickbait podcast defends Nick. Bachelor's reality, Steve responds, and then he talks about the hypocrisy. Blake slams Nick for the hypocrisy. Then we have Nick slams Katie Thurston. Then we have Bachelor fans disgusted by Clickbait's podcast misinformation. And then Bachelor podcaster Nick responds to Blake Horseman's hypocrite criticism. And now we have Blake responding. So it's just a who's who of the the old-fashioned human centipede of love. If you want to be caught up in a brief 5 seconds, here you go.
Different person, but from what I remember, she was obviously beautiful, and a lot of fun to be around. She's the
Whoa.
life of the party.
Whoa. Whoa. A lot of fun.
Yeah, she's
all
like,
right, so there it is. So, a lot of fun. So, that's a lot of fun. So, that's the update. There you have it, folks. Let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of the video. Here's... Can you believe you guys are watching this shit? Can you believe I'm making it? This is what a business degree from the University of Rhode Island gets you. Live your life, leap in the net will appear. Love what I do.
You guys have been asking about the podcast and kind of my Bachelor recaps and everything. Taking a little break, life's gotten pretty busy. I'm on to bigger, better things. So, unfortunately, right now, the podcast is on hold. We're thinking about maybe bringing it back. We'll see.
So he goes on to bigger and better things. Of course, if we post this, there's nothing random in the world. On to bigger and better things is his way of saying, I don't need this drama.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing the Bachelor recaps anymore. I'm sorry. I know that upsets a lot of you, but it's just, I am so busy now and I got other things going on in life. So that's where I'm at, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do it again. I say this.
I got other things going on in life. Got 99 problems, but a Viall ain't one.
So maybe I'll come back. I'm not leaving Bachelor Nation. I'm not declaring that or anything, but yeah, I'm just going to take...
I should have said Nick. That would have said, I got 99 problems, but a Nick ain't one. Hit it!
A little break from it. So those of you asking, there you go. Have a good one.
And it's nice when it's like, were people asking? No, people were asking, what are you going to do to respond to Nick? And he's out there getting that Colorado sun, putting his playlist together for the little wiki DJ.
Also, me and G are going to do a fun live tonight. So we're going to cook a little dinner, maybe do a fun live. So you guys got any questions?
All right, fine. I guess I'll watch your live and just randomly comment there. By the way, shout out to our Patreon. Maria Brooks says, this is what I signed up for Patreon for. Yeah, this is it. You're getting your money's worth. The behind the scenes of this video is wild. I've given my unfiltered opinions on this whole matter. If you want to check it out, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I cannot believe how many new members we're getting. We're almost over 300.
Kind of thing. Let us know, because I feel like we haven't really done too many of those Q&As or anything together. So tune in live tonight. I don't know, probably do it 7 to 8-ish Mountain Time. So see you.
All right, Mountain Time. All right. Okay, so that was 2 hours ago, and he says, I'm not going to comment on it. And then, you know how it is. Trust me, you know how it is. You go, all right, I'm going to take the high road. I'm not going to comment on it. And then you spend 45 minutes doing laundry. You vacuum off the AstroTurf. You hang out. You pet the dog. And then you're like, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right, so, I've gotten all the DMs and everything about the Nick Viall podcast. Same shit he's been saying for 3 years, but I do want to correct one thing, because I think he literally made it up. He said something to the effect of, I demanded a statement from Kaylin, or I was going to release the text messages.
Okay, let's watch what Nick said about that.
Instead of looking at how his behavior and his choices might have played a role in that fuckboy edit, he decided to take someone down with him, even though he was advised by friends of his not to post it, and was warned how it might affect the people involved. Instead of taking their advice, no, he reached out to the person he would affect, demanded that they put out a public statement, or else. And when that person didn't do what he...
Demanded they put out a public statement. So, that's pretty big. Someone demanding, put out a public statement, or I'll release the texts. So, let's let Blake defend his good name.
That is a flat out lie, and I don't want that to catch steam, and now people be like, Blake threatened to release text messages if she didn't release a statement. That is not true. In fact, it was the opposite. Dean reached out.
Whoa. Is this breaking information? A lot of my breaking news buttons getting hit pretty hard today.
And said that we should go on a live, and Blake...
So Dean wanted Blake to go on a live with Kaylin to clear the air.
Blame the show, and we should do a statement and blame the show. But
by the way, blaming the show for their edit would probably violate their contracts.
At that point, I obviously didn't trust anything. So that's when so she actually wanted to do a statement, but I didn't trust her at that point.
So Blake didn't trust her to do a statement, which you can understand. So for those that don't understand what this all comes down to, the problem we have, which like I said before, this is why when we're debating here, we're addressing the point, not the person. I'm not addressing Nick Viall, the person. I'm addressing the point he's making. And the point that Nick's been making is that there's really no situation in which Blake should have violated his intimate sexual text messages. And Blake's point is, my back was against the wall. Blake was being accused of coercing Kaylin into sex. That's the edit that came from the show. That's what the audience got from all that. And he's saying, without releasing this information, no one would have believed me. Even if Blake goes and does a live stream with Kaylin, and we don't know the timeline of how far down the road that was. Maybe the damage was already done. People weren't going to believe anything less than a smoking gun. So when we look at these and I don't mean to drudge these back up because they are awful to see. Blake maintains to this day, Blake Horsty over there, Blake the Horseman. Blake the Horseman, I like that. Hey, I'm the Horseman. Giddy up.
Oh my
Giddy up on the Blake the Horseman. Come on. Which actually makes stagecoach very interesting because that's a horse term. Anyway, all right. He's got that horseman. Okay. I've digressed. The point being, he's in blue. He's in blue. She says, I'm coming. He says, no. She says, dude. He's dude. She says, it's fine. He says, but that's what they all say. She says, come on, loosen up. He says, don't tell me to chill. She says, just let's have a good time, man. It sounds like a drug dealer from my DARE classes in 1993. He goes, that's what you all say. She goes, I just ordered an Uber. He says, liar. She says, I'm not. He says, we can cuddle, but no sex. She says, yes, sex, only sex. He says, I have willpower. She says, no cuddling, lies. He says, willpower. She says, you both know that's not true. And then he says, I'm a gentleman. She says, that's false. And then she says, if I come over, it's strictly for sex. Nothing more, nothing less. And he says, that's what they all say. And she says, I'm just trying to be honest. And in Blake's attempt to be honest, and save whatever image he had left for himself, he needed to let the world know that he didn't coerce her into sex and that it was actually the opposite. And if people were going to slut shame her for that, unfortunately, it was too little too late. He had to take care of himself. That's where he stands, and that's where the majority of Bachelor Nation stands.
Point. So that is a complete lie and completely made up by Nick. So I did not demand a statement from Kaylin or at least in the text messages. That is a lie by Nick Viall. So yeah, that's the thing I want to say.
It sounds like Trump is like, that's a lie. It's a flat out lie. It's the fake media. Anyway, there it is. Bruce in the comments says, Blake was defending himself with evidence. When Nick and his girlfriend were dishing about Katie, they weren't refuting any accusations. Katie never made any accusations. And there you go. And we have that problem where Blake was defending himself. When Nick and Natalie released the text messages, which we forget kind of inflamed this whole thing, it was because they were trying to catch Katie in some lie, because Katie was like, oh, Blake Moynes was the guy. It was never Greg Grippo, which of course is what you would text somebody when that's the person you ended up with. And they, violated Katie's trust, of which we're not going to get into now, but I think there should never have to be a good reason for blocking somebody. If someone doesn't bring you joy, happiness, whatever in life, you block them. So Katie doesn't need some smoking gun as to why she blocked Nick. She just says, I blocked him. See you at the top. I don't care about him. I don't think about him. And now here we are 17 years later making conversations about it. You know what I mean? It's like, geez, how far down the rabbit's hole do we need to go? Apparently, farther. So that's the story. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. For anybody who disagrees with me, you're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to have your opinions. All I'm trying to do is take the words that come out of people's mouth and share them in a way that's not throwing people under the bus, but having a little bit of nuance to delicate situations, because that's exactly what the problem is here. Now, I actually got a nice comment I posted this right here. Bachelor podcaster Nick responds to Blake Horseman. And then, do I have it in here? Oh, that's Natalie multitasking. I thought I had the repeat that my buddy sent me. I guess I don't have it. I have a friend who's a trial lawyer, and he sent me a DM being like, dude, you'd be a good lawyer. And it's like, look, I don't think so. I just think the bare minimum we need to have is what people actually said. And the problem that Nick had on his podcast is he's got, 3 dozen producers. They couldn't even provide the accurate stuff that Katie said in the first place. And now they're misrepresenting what actually went down with Blake and why the feud exists. Does Blake Horseman have a feud with anybody else in Bachelor Nation? Anybody else? I believe the answer is no here. I think there's credit towards that beef, and we've been covering it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm on Patreon, baby. Go check it out, patreon.com/Dave Neal for my unfiltered thoughts. If you didn't think this was unfiltered, run it through the Brita filter one more time. Patreon.com/Dave Neal. At T Neals for my stand-up show updates. I'll have a couple shows this weekend. Bye, everybody. 99 problems and a Nick ain't one. Hit it.